When I planned my first ever trip to London, I was determined to ride on one of those double-decker red buses that everybody rides on. After hours and hours of research, I finally found one in particular that really stood out. Instead of your typical bus tour, I booked a bus experience that combines sightseeing with fine dining. In this video, I'll give you my honest review. I'll take you with me from the start of the experience all the way to the end, and then you can see for yourself if you think it's worth your time and money. So come aboard with me and we are gonna go through the Bustronome experience in London. In true Trisha fashion, we were the first ones to arrive at the bus meetup location, and we were greeted by these really friendly staff members. They escorted us through the door and immediately led us up to the second floor, which is where the restaurant is. Once I get to the top of the stairs and fully take in the view of the 360 panoramic glass roof, jaw is dropped. I knew immediately that I chose the right bus tour because this was gonna be super Instagrammable. It was so beautiful. We got really lucky. We got a table that didn't have any obstructed views because the tables that were right in front of us had like an AC unit above them. So that took up some space for the pictures. There was definitely a buzz of excitement that you could feel throughout the bus. People were looking through the map and pointing at all the different things that we were gonna pass by. Some people were pointing at things that were far in the distance, maybe trying to plan an Instagram shot. The vibes were definitely good and got me feeling more excited too. And now let's talk about the food. Matt and I decided to do the 4-course lunch menu without wine pairings, and that was about £70. The experience was supposed to be about an hour and a half. As we're sitting at our table, we start playing with the little acrylic contraption that's right in front of us. It was designed to be, I guess, anti-spill, which makes a lot of sense. It's a moving restaurant. I'm sure you don't want drinks and food flying everywhere. The placemat was also really cool. I think that it was magnetic. They really thought of everything to make sure that things don't spill during this experience. We started off our fine dining experience strong with my favorite carb in the world, warm, fluffy bread and salted butter. I'd actually gotten my nails done French tip butter yellow, and when I put it right next to the butter on my bread, it was a perfect match. The next course that they brought out was a chilled summer fruit gazpacho. This was my first time having a fruit gazpacho and also a cold gazpacho, and it sounded really weird at first, but for some reason it oddly worked. It was gorgeously plated, very Instagrammable. The sun rays were making it glow. It was just a beautiful dish. It was also very light and refreshing, and it just felt really good to eat because it was like a warmer day. I was definitely scraping the last bits of that gazpacho. It was just so unique. I've never tasted anything like it, and again, very light. The next item on the course was a salmon and asparagus dish. I personally don't really like seafood, but there are a few things that I will eat, like crab, lobster, salmon, tuna, and most recently cod. Knowing that it was one of my favorite fish, it was super easy to just cut into it, get a big scoop with a spoon, and just shove it in my mouth. But little did I know that there was gonna be a really horrible surprise underneath the salmon. Hidden within the orange sauce was actually these really large mussels. As soon as I took a bite and the juices all squished out from the mussel, I just don't like the taste of mussels. I chewed, and I just swallowed it, followed by a rush of water. But if you like salmon and you like mussel, I think that the dish would have been like totally fine for you. The salmon itself was good. I just was extra careful this time navigating my plate. I forgot to mention that when you're booking this experience, they don't actually go in depth about what's gonna be on these menus. There's just an afternoon tea menu, a 4-course menu, or a 6-course menu. You can imagine my shock after the mussel fiasco when a rack of lamb gets brought to my table. I don't consider myself to be a picky eater, but I feel like I just like staying between the holy trinity of pork, beef, and chicken. So things like seafood are too fishy for me usually, and things like lamb or deer are just very gamey, and I just can't stomach them very well. But there's a happy ending to this story because this rack of lamb was actually delicious. It was tender, it was juicy, it tasted really good with a little mash on the side, and it didn't taste gamey at all. I was really shocked that it was lamb because again, when I was eating it, it just tasted like a sirloin steak to me. It did not taste like lamb. I cleared my plate of that lamb. It was actually quite delicious and I would have that again. Am I gonna be a lamb girly now? After all the entrees were served, we were given a choice of complimentary tea or coffee. Us, of course, being in England, we had to indulge ourselves in tea. Matt got the standard black and I got Earl Grey, and it was just so awesome. One of the favorite things that I posted on my story of Matt was him just sipping his tea with the London eye in the background. Literally so majestic. The final course was a chocolate dome dessert. It was rich, but not too sweet, and the crumbs on top added a really nice crunchy texture. The sweetness of the dessert paired really well with the bitter tea that we had, and it felt really balanced. Honestly, the perfect ending for this experience. My final verdict on the Bustronome experience is that it was a 10 out of 10 for me. It fulfilled everything that I wanted and more. My most favorite moment from this entire bus tour, definitely when we headed towards Big Ben, and right behind me, as I was holding my cup of tea, having the most London-y experience, was Big Ben, the icon himself. He was just towering behind me and glowing in the beautiful weather that we were having. What I was thinking in that moment was that, is this real life? Am I in London on a double-decker bus, fine dining, sipping a cup of Earl Grey? Yes, I really was. So who is this Bustronome experience for? If you love fine dining, aesthetic views, a more elevated way to sightsee in an AC tour bus, then this is the perfect experience for you. It's really great if you want to cover a lot of ground without having to walk around as much. And for my itinerary specifically, it was a really great way for Matt and I to just take a little bit of a rest, because usually our itinerary is very go, go, go. And this kind of fulfilled two things at once. We were able to eat our lunch and sit and have our feet rest for an hour and a half. So it was a really great break for us. If you're someone who instead likes to get out, likes to learn a little bit more information about the different sites, then maybe this experience is not for you, because again, it's not like your typical tour bus where they're giving you all these historical facts as you pass by all these landmarks. It's very much just like, okay, cool, London Bridge, Big Ben, you know, like that kind of style. I think that this experience is a great overview of the different iconic landmarks of London, but you definitely need to go back to all of them if you want to see them specifically, which could be really great, right? If you thought that Tower Bridge was awesome, then now you can go back once you get off the bus, while at the same time being really efficient, because maybe you're not as interested in Sky Garden, but at least you got to like see it, right? For me personally, £70 for a 4-course meal, iconic views of everything, very Instagrammable. I had a great time. The crowd was really great. It was totally worth it for me. I had such an amazing time at the one in London that I would definitely look into going to the one in Paris, because I haven't been to France yet. And I feel like if it was similar to this experience, I feel like it's an easy yes. If you enjoyed my Bustronome adventures, I have way more in my London travel vlog. I'm gonna draw part 1 here. There's also a part 2. It's on my channel. All right, folks, see you in my next video.